Good morning everyone. Welcome to the English literature class. Today I am going to take the revision of very interesting chapter I am flying with you. So students, please open your fragrance book at page number 37. Students, the main objectives of this chapter are: today you all will be able to revise the detailed summary of the chapter, word meaning and phrases related to the chapter. Students, you have already done this chapter earlier. So, today we are going to revise this chapter. We will start our revision by reading page number 37 and 38. But before beginning with the reading, let us revise the brief summary of the chapter. This lesson is about a little boy who believes in making others happy. He meets a little girl in the park who cannot walk. She always wants to walk and run like others. The little boy keeps her on his back and makes her feel like she is flying. Now students, let us revise the detailed summary of the chapter. This story is about a little boy who lived in an orphanage. He always wished to fly like a bird. It was hard to understand for him why he could not fly. The boy went to the park and he met with a little girl in the park. He asked her if she ever wished to fly like a bird. She denied and wished to walk and run like other boys and girls. Both children played for hours. They made castles, laughed and talked. Then the little girl's father arrived there with a wheelchair to take her home. The little boy rushed to the girl's father and whispered something into his ear. The little boy slided up her onto his back. Then he started running as fast as he could. The little girl's father began to cry as he watched his daughter flapping her arms up and down in the wind and yelling at the top of her voice, "Look, Daddy, I am flying." Now students, let us revise the word meaning and phrases of page number 37. Look at the first word, orphanage, 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 a home for children whose parents are dead. Next is wished, wished means desired. Next is understand, UNDERSTAND, understand means to know. Next is zoo, zoo means a place where wild animals are kept. Next word is wondered, WONDERED, wondered means to feel surprise. Next is park, an open area in a town where people can go for walk. Let's revise the phrases. In an orphanage, अनाथालय में. To fly like a bird, एक पक्षी की तरह उड़ने को. Next one, to the zoo, चिड़ियाघर में. Next is to walk and run like other boys and girls, दूसरे छोटे लड़के लड़कियों की तरह चलने और दौड़ने को. Next is for a walk, सैर पर जाने के लिए. In the sand, रेत में. To the little girl, छोटी लड़की को. Let's start the reading. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who lived in an orphanage. This little boy always wished to fly like a bird. It was very difficult for him to understand why he could not fly. There were birds at the zoo much bigger than him. They could fly. Now students, in this paragraph, once there was a little boy who lived in an orphanage. He always wished to fly like a bird. There were many big birds at the zoo who could easily fly. But it was hard to understand for him why he could not fly. Now students, what did the little boy wish to do? The little boy wished to fly like a bird. Why do you think the little boy wanted to fly like a bird? The little boy wanted to fly like a bird so that he could find his own parents. Let's read the next paragraph. Why can't I? He wondered. There was a little girl who could not walk. She always wished to walk and run like other little boys and girls. Why can't I be like them? She wondered. In this paragraph, there was one more character in the chapter. She was a little girl who was unable to walk but wished to walk and run like other boys and girls. Now let's read the next paragraph. One day, the little boy went for a walk. He came to a park where he saw the little girl playing in the sand. Now students, one day the boy went to a park for a walk. He saw a little girl playing in the sand. Now students, what do you think the little boy will do? Students, what will the little boy do? Will he go to the little girl? For answer to this question, let's read the next paragraph. He ran over to the little girl and asked, "Have you ever wanted to fly like a bird?" Now students, one day the boy went to a park for a walk. He saw a little girl playing in the sand. He asked her if she ever wished to fly like a bird. Let's read the next paragraph. "No," said the little girl, "but I have wondered what it would be like to walk and run like other boys and girls." Now students, in this paragraph, the little girl denied and wished to walk and run like other boys and girls. Now students, let us revise the word meanings and phrases of page number 38. Look at the first word. Sand castles, S-A-N-D-C-A-S-T-L-E-S, sand castles, a structure which is made with sand on beach. Next is W-H-E-E-L-C-H-A-I-R, wheelchair, a chair on wheels used by people who cannot walk. Now look at the next word. Wonderful, W-O-N-D-E-R-F-U-L, wonderful means amazing. Next is instead, I-N-S-T-E-A-D, instead, in place of. Next is slide, to move easily over a surface. Next is travel, T-R-A-V-E-L, travel, to go on. Next is wind, air that moves quickly. Next is whistled, W-H-I-S-T-L-E-D, whistled, making a high sound. Next is watched, watch means to see. Next is flapping, F-L-A-P-P-I-N-G, flapping, moving quickly up and down. Yelling. Yelling means shouting. Next is at the top of her voice to say something loudly. Now let's revise the phrases. With a wheelchair, पहिएदार कुर्सी के साथ. To take her home, उसे घर ले जाने को. Next is to the girl's father, लड़के के पिता को. Into his ear, उसके कान में. Next is at his new friend, उसके नए दोस्त को. To slide up onto his back, उसकी पीठ पर फिसलने को. Next is on his back, उसकी पीठ पर. Across the two children's faces, दोनों बच्चों के चेहरे के पार. Next is in the wind, हवा में. At the top of her voice, उसकी आवाज़ के शीर्ष पर. Now let's start the reading of this page. Why? Asked the boy. I can't walk or run, she answered. That is very sad, said the boy. Do you think we could be friends? He asked her. Sure, said the little girl. Now students, you all know that the girl denied and wished to walk and run like other boys. The boy asked her the reason. At this, the girl replied she could not walk and run. Then the boy asked the girl about their friendship, and the little girl agreed. Let's read the next paragraph. The two children played for hours. They made sandcastles and talked and laughed. Then the little girl's father came with a wheelchair to take her home. The little boy ran over to the girl's father. He whispered something into his ear. Now students, in this paragraph, both children played for hours. They made sandcastles, laughed and talked. Then the little girl's father arrived there with a wheelchair to take her home. The little boy rushed to the girl's father and whispered something into his ear. The man agreed. Now students, what do you think the little boy whispered into the father's ear? The little boy asked for permission to slide up her onto his back from his father. Now students, which word out of the following words has a similar meaning to spoke quietly? Now students, which word is similar to spoke quietly? Number 1, laughed. Number 2, talked. Number 3, whispered. Now which word is similar to spoke quietly? Whispered. Whispered is the correct answer. Look at the next paragraph. That would be wonderful, said the man. Now look at the next paragraph. The boy looked at his new friend and said, You are my only friend. I wish there was something I could do to make you walk and run like other boys and girls. But I can't. Instead, there is something that I can do for you. In this paragraph, the boy felt happy on seeing the girl and expressed his feeling by saying that she was his only good friend. He said that he really wanted to do something for her, but he couldn't. Suddenly, he thought if he could do something for her. Let's read the next paragraph. The boy turned around and told his new friend to slide up onto his back. He then began to run. Faster and faster he ran, carrying the little girl on his back. Harder and harder he made his legs travel. Soon the wind just whistled across the two children's faces. Now, in this paragraph, the little boy slided up her onto his back. Then he started running as fast as he could. The wind whistled across the two children's faces. Now, students, look at the MCQ. The little boy carried the little girl on his back in order to number 1. Fulfill his dream, fulfill her dream, and fulfill their dreams. So, the little boy carried the little girl on his back in order to fulfill their dreams. Let's read the next paragraph. The little girl's father began to cry as he watched his daughter flapping her arms up and down in the wind, all the while yelling at the top of her voice, "Look, Daddy, I am flying, I am flying." Now, in this paragraph, the little girl's father started crying as he saw his daughter flapping her arms up and down in the wind and shouting at the top of her voice, "Look, Daddy, I am flying." Now, students, today we have revised lesson number 6, I am flying. In my next video, I will take the revision of Write Well with you. Till then, you all have to read the same chapter again and again for better understanding. And you all have to follow your SNAP homework schedule. Thank you everyone.